Hey, it's your boy Sergeant Hooked on Hinchins. Why did I do that? What was that? Anyway, with my top five primary Kamen Riders video today. It's my fourth video for Kamen Rider throughout this week of its 50th anniversary. Again, huge love, and support, and big shout out to Toei Tokusatsu World YouTube channel for all the premieres they've been doing this week for the Rider movies. The streams that Team Kamen Rider and Bluefin Brands have been putting up, all of the uh, merchandise they've been helping to bring over, the new stuff we're getting with Ryuki and Zero One streaming on Tokusatsu soon, Tokusatsu looking for other streaming partners, and physical releases, Blu-ray, DVD of Kamen Rider Zero One. My goodness, can you look at my shirt? I'm a fan. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into the video. This is the third time I've recorded this video because my phone likes to act like it doesn't have space on it when it really does. But anyway, so my top five favorite primary Kamen Riders. Number five is going to be Hiden Arato from Kamen Rider Zero One. When the show started, I wasn't so sure about him. I liked the aesthetic of the him being a comedian and a CEO, and I like how they worked with it within the show. How like he was reluctant to be a CEO, very uncomfortable, but pretty much like I think it's like the second or third episode in, he's like, you know what, this is important. I think what one moment that really got me was in the beginning of the show. It's the first time he encounters Metsubo Jinrai, and Jin encounters him, and Jin, unbeknownst to him, is recording their conversation with, I think it's with the driver or with something, his little phone thing, whatever. But anyway, he's recording it, and so he gets footage of Jin so that people know that Metsubo Jinrai is real. Because in the first couple episodes, I thought they essentially think it's like this bad PR thing for Hidden Technologies or whatever, because they think it's just them entirely. In the lore of the show, if you've not watched it, there's this thing called Daybreak Day where the Human Gears, years prior to the show starting, attacked. They all went berserk one day because of this satellite Zaya. Yeah, satellite Zaya. Or no, Arc. I'm sorry, not Zaya. Zaya Technologies, different group. The Arc satellite. And that made all the Human Gears go berserk, and they hurt people, and that's where Fua's whole thing came from, him hating the Human Gears. At least you think so in the beginning. Anyway, so I liked that. It was really smart to see that and to see like what was supposed to be, at least on the surface, a more lighthearted, humorous character do something that smart. I really liked that he set that up, knowing that more likely than not he would encounter them and being ready to record when he did. But I really like his way of relating to characters. I love how much focus and love and support he has for the Human Gears. It really helps to build the themes of like the robo racism, if you will, and the humans versus technology and nature versus nurture and blah blah blah. Because we get challenged with that throughout the show. There are Human Gears he encounters that do have dreams and do change, and there's other ones that don't. There's other ones that are more evil. And then later on in the show we get Metsubo Jinrai. Like each member of it eventually has their own dream. Ikazuchi has his own dream. Naki has their own dream. Jin eventually has his own dream. Hirobi even does to an extent. So I like that like he has a connection with almost every main character, and a way of connecting with them and talking with them and really getting into like who they are. He's a very easy, friendly person to talk to, and I like that. And his jokes, honestly, they're awful, but they're actually pretty funny for the most part too. Backed up, of course, by Fua, not wanting to show him that he's laughing. But yeah, Aruto is a really good main rider, and definitely an awesome start to the Reiwa era, in my opinion. I loved Zero One, and I thought it was a great series, and I also really liked him as a main rider. Going forward, my number four pick is Eiji Hino from Kamen Rider O's. I'd wanted to watch O's forever and ever. Finally found a way to watch it, and I loved the series, and I love Eiji as a rider. He definitely, to me, kind of gives Godai vibes in terms of being just like a super chill, nice guy who wants to help people. But I like that with Eiji, the whole theme of the show is like what greed can do to humans, to humanity, and how it can make us evil and, not think things through and, what have you. And I like that Eiji doesn't really have desire or greed. His only desire, if you could even say that, is to want to help people and to keep people safe. And I like his backstory that he was a part of a like a Greenpeace type group or something like that, and he tried to save a little girl and didn't get there in time, and that broke him. And it broke him, and then he reformed himself back into, reformed himself again, galvanized himself, and pushed forward and said, you know what? I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm always going to be, no matter what, even when the bad things happen, I'm always going to extend my hand to help somebody in need. And I love that. Love that. I love his effect on Ankh. How Ankh starts out as like a huge asshole in the beginning and is a less of an asshole at the end, kind of a Vegeta asshole at the end, if you could kind of relate that, sort of. And his effect on him, where he is learning what it means to be human and learning how much fun it is to be human with, the ice pops and stuff like that. And he's also kind of teaching AG how to protect himself and how to stand up for himself and realize that not everything is happy-go-lucky all the time. And I like that kind of dynamic that they have. They have a really strong friendship and bond, and it's a fantastic series, a heartbreaking series, but a fantastic series, and a really good main writer. I love AG so much. So number 3 is the GOAT, the original, the OG Kamen Rider Ichigo, Takeshi Hongo. That was another one that when I watched it, I had no idea what to expect going in. I know what he looked like. I'd seen the suit before, some variations of the henshin and whatnot, but it's such a different vibe watching the very first season of Kamen Rider. Just like right now when I'm watching Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger and what it does completely different from the rest of Sentai. But with Ichigo, there's no gimmicks, there's no extra belts, there's just the main belt, that's it. There's no like fancy effects, there's no, all these things we're used to are just not there, but it still works on its own. It's such a fantastic show. And he's such a great writer. I love his backstory. I love the backstory of him, that he was a prisoner of Shocker, taken him against his will, forced into being experimented on, and decided he was able to break free from the brainwashing and use that technology against Shocker. I love that. I love it. I think it's super cool as a story aesthetic that he's willing to understands that, you know what? This is who I am now. It's part of me. I'm going to use it to help people. I'm going to use it to stop Shocker from doing it to somebody else. Of course, he doesn't stop it from happening to Nigo, because it's similar to Nigo. Similar to him, Nigo gets the same thing happening to him. But he does the very best he can, and I love that. And we also get the famous line from him later on in this series. I think is something along the lines of humanity, or like human life is sometimes more important than peace and justice. And I like that. Like at the very bare minimum in every Rider season, they are trying to keep somebody alive and safe. And I love that. So he's a fantastic writer. He is a badass. He has morals. He's funny when he needs to be. He's serious when he needs to be. And in general, an all-around, well-rounded, awesome character who actually does change as the story goes. So that's my thing on Takeshi Hongo. My number 2 pick is actually something different. It is Kiryu Sento / Katsuragi from Kamen Rider Build. I loved, again, some few spoilers here. Clearly, if you're watching this, you should probably understand there's going to be spoilers. I'm just talking about primary riders of seasons, and I have to talk about their seasons to understand who they are. But I really enjoy his character. I like that he is of two minds almost. That at the beginning you think he's one person, but he's really somebody else. And this other person that he was kind of a monster. And that throughout it, you actually have these moments where he talks to the Katsuragi side of himself. And it's not until later that they fully come together and he accepts what he's done and moves forward. And the challenges he's presented with, I mean, how much he wants to protect and help Banjo out, and they're kind of honestly verging on romance. The connections he has with the rest of the characters like Misora and Kazumine and Gentoku, and Soichi as well, as far as, Bloodstalk / Evolt and all that. And I really think it came to a head for me as a character for him. I already enjoyed him, but this cinched it, was the moment when he became Max Hazard for the first time. And not the first time, when he used it and went berserk and killed one of Kazumine's friends. He'd never at that point fought a monster, hazard beast or whatever it was called, and killed the person that it can't spawn from. Usually it would just revert them back and spit out a bottle, and he'd refine it and become a new form and whatever. But this is the first time that he straight murders somebody, and he feels like shit. And actually, it's kind of cool. A little tidbit here. I found this out. from a couple different sources. If you watch closely, in that episode, it shows him all disheveled at one point. He's all looking all tired, and his hair is all messed up, and just looks like shit. The actor actually stayed up for like 24 hours straight playing Monster Hunter, I think, before filming the episode to make himself look more disheveled to really like sell it, and I really like that. But just a fantastic character, a lot of pathos, a lot of emotions going on, and once he finally accepts who he was as Katsuragi, that yes, Katsuragi was a monster, but that he wouldn't be where he was without that side of himself. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. And the different reveals about him as he goes throughout the show. But just a fantastic writer, always willing to help, always thinking of like, bloop, his little, genius little hair thing, and, thinks of something that's gotta, help them in that certain problem or whatever. So a fantastic writer, and I really enjoy him. But my number one main primary writer, favorite primary Kamen writer, hands down, is my boy, Gentaro Kisaragi. I love Gentaro so much. Kamen Rider Forze is a very important season to me. I really love it. It's super heartfelt. It has like a John Hughes like movie feel to it, but also like has really kick-ass choreography and a kick-ass theme song that makes you want to beat the shit out of somebody. The fight scenes are really well done. The effects are great. And Kisaragi, Gentaro, is just an amazing main character. Truly, truly well done. His whole gimmick about wanting to like befriend everybody in the high school, and he even like as he goes is like essentially befriending all of the like monsters of the week hosts. Essentially, he even at the end of it tries to befriend the main villain. Like I love that part of him, that like he comes off looking like he's like a ne'er-do-well type of deviant with his slick down hair and whatever, but he's actually not. He's actually a really nice guy, and just is kind of like awkward sometimes about other things other than making friends with people. It's kind of his main thing. And I like how like later on some of the forms he takes need his bonds with his friends to be strong to exist, to the point where he's later on using the final form, and during an episode him and another character aren't getting along, and he can't use that final form because they're not getting along, because that final form is formed with their bond of friendship. I like that, connecting the two of those things. I thought that was really cool. But overall, a really fantastic season and a fantastic primary writer. I love how protective he is, how friendly he is, how much he truly wants to like make everybody feel safe and feel awesome. And I like his whole shtick also of like telling people like, yeah, you were a bit of an ass, but it's all right. I'll accept you for who you are. Like everybody has jerky quirks to them. You got to be able to see past that, and I like that about him. And that he's always willing to just chill with somebody and talk with somebody about what's going on. Like he never accuses anybody. As far as I remember throughout the series, he's never just like, oh, they're most like they're for sure evil. There's no way there's anything else going on. He like always is like willing to like see through the bullshit and wonder like what's at their core affecting them. Especially when you get like the different members of the team that join him, his club, the Kamen Rider Club that joined, and stuff like that. He really is good at like, kind of identifying people and getting heart to heart with them. Kind of like Aruto with the Human Gears and other people he meets. But to a larger extent, in my opinion. But an awesome, awesome character. His fight scenes are great. His character scenes are amazing. And overall, my favorite primary Kamen Rider. So, hope this didn't ruffle too many feathers. I enjoy the Kamen Rider franchise. A lot of the seasons are amazing. There are some I haven't even seen, of course. But yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. This doesn't have to be my last main Kamen Rider video. I mean, I'll try to do more. I'm not as into Saber right now, but if you guys are willing to willing to watch videos maybe about 01 or any other season, or if you want me to do my top 5 favorite Kamen Rider seasons, that'll ruffle some feathers. I can do that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Like it, share it around, watch it, of course. Subscribe for more Toku content. But as always, stay hooked on Henshins. I'll talk to you later. I'll do the stupid finger gun thing again. It's really awkward and dumb. I don't know why I'm doing it, and I'm still talking about it. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.